Greetings, friends, and welcome to Captain Samuel's Syncretism. When I was in college, I took some courses on religion, and one day the professor had a pop quiz. The pop quiz didn't affect our grade, but whoever got the highest score got a prize, and that was me. And he gave me this really cool textbook called Religions of the World. I've had it for a long time, and what's interesting is it contains Gnostic passages of the Bible that didn't make it into the original cut. And since we're doing a Christmas book haul today, I'd like to read you one of those Gnostic passages that was cut from the Bible that actually tells the story of the first Christmas book haul. So check this out. Not many people know the story of the first Christmas book haul. And Jesus went into the temple bookstore, and looking upon the shelves of books became wroth with anger. He said, "Just because J.R.R. Tolkien made his books a trilogy does not mean that every fantasy series ever has to be artificially bloated into a trilogy. Tell your story and be done with it. Also, look at all these AI-generated book covers. Oi, how I long for the days of glorious, hand-painted Frank Frazetta covers." And so saying this, he tipped over the shelves of books and produced from his basket a limitless supply of vintage science fiction and fantasy, which he handed out unto the people until all were satisfied. Wow, isn't that a beautiful story? Touches me right here. Very nice. So let's take a look at what I got for Christmas. To start with, I really like Star Trek Adventures, except for Spock Messiah. That book was terrible. But I really enjoyed Mudd's Angels. And since I had a positive experience with that, I asked for all of the other Star Trek novels, and my girlfriend was able to get a cheap lot on eBay of all 12 of the Star Trek novels, which are novelizations of all the original episodes. So I've read a couple of my favorite episodes, like the Cloudminders, and they're pretty good. They're pretty well written. Been really enjoying those so far. I won't show all 12 of them, but they've got some nice covers. Usually the Enterprise flying around through space, looking all 1960s futuristic. So that was fun. And then these are some things that I got for my oldest daughter. When I was a kid, maybe you had these too. They're called Great Illustrated Classics. So they're not just science fiction, but they're all these classic works of literature, and on every page there's a black and white illustration. And I actually remember having the Time Machine as a kid and really enjoying it. So just to see if I could pique her interest in science fiction a little bit, I got her the Time Machine, Journey to the Center of the Earth, and The Invisible Man. Another thing my oldest daughter and I like to do is we like to read my old Sonic the Hedgehog comics from when I was a kid. And they have ads in them. And we kept seeing this ad for this one spin-off comic. So I picked her up a copy of Archie Meets the Punisher. And yeah, that was an interesting reading experience. So I also asked for a couple other things. They didn't come in the mail. I only shouted, "Nobody Loves Me," and cried for 5 minutes, which I think was pretty good. But even though some of these other gifts got lost in the mail, they're on the way, and I'll show you some other things that I'm going to get for Christmas. So first up, there's To the Stars by Harry Harrison. This is actually a collection of 3 books in a series that he wrote. It's about an extremely privileged, powerful person that has some kind of an accident and realizes that the rest of the world is living in subjugation to this powerful empire. I don't know any more details about it beyond that, but I really like Harry Harrison, so I figured I'd give it a try. The other book that got lost in the mail is the first book in the Lioness series by Jack Vance called Soldier's Garden. I don't know a whole lot about it except that it's fantasy written by Jack Vance and won some awards. Jack Vance is one of my favorite authors, so I'm looking forward to checking that out. And then, just to assuage myself a little bit that a bunch of my gifts had got lost in the mail, I remembered that Christmas is a time when we should be thinking of others, and since I have multiple personalities, that works out great, and I got myself a couple gifts. The first is Jesus on Mars. I just think this is a wacky sounding book about exactly what it says. Some astronauts go to Mars and Jesus is there. What's that all about? So I'm really looking forward to giving that a read. I really enjoy Philip Jose Farmer. And then finally, I also ordered Empire of the East by Fred Saberhagen. This is a science fantasy series that's also the prequels to his Complete Book of Swords, which I have. And sometimes when I read the Complete Book of Swords, I don't really understand the full context. So I'm hoping this prequel trilogy will help me put the pieces together. So anyways, I hope you enjoyed this Christmas haul. I hope you're doing well, and happy holidays.